A decision that feels ripped straight from a science fiction movie has just become reality. A federal judge has authorized SpaceX to move forward with the most powerful and most controversial rocket humanity has ever built. Starship, the towering machine of steel that promises to carry us to Mars. But this approval didn't come without controversy. Environmental concerns, the threat of explosions, political pressure, every piece of it hangs in the balance. And now, with permission for up to 25 launches a year, the world is holding its breath. We may be witnessing the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure, or the warning signs of a disaster unlike anything we've ever seen. Get ready, because today we're exposing the behind-the-scenes battles, the risks, and the dreams surrounding the most polarizing spacecraft on Earth. In recent months, SpaceX has been at the center of an intense courtroom battle. Environmental groups and local communities in Texas filed lawsuits against Elon Musk's company. Their target was clear: the Starship rocket and its explosive test launches in Boca Chica. The launch site isn't just any stretch of land. It's a protected coastal habitat, home to migratory birds, endangered sea turtles, and fragile ecosystems already under pressure from human activity. Every failed test scattered debris for miles, filled the sky with smoke, and left fragments of metal even in wildlife refuges. Activists argued that the risks were unacceptable, that Musk's dream could come at too high a cost for nature, and that the rush to conquer Mars was bulldozing the need to protect Earth. But the judge ruled in favor of SpaceX. He decided the strategic and technological benefits outweighed the dangers. With that ruling, the company now has permission to launch up to 25 Starship flights a year. It's a staggering number, and a frightening one. We're talking about nearly 2 launches a month of a 400-foot rocket with unmatched power. An approval that turns Boca Chica into the stage for a high-stakes spectacle the world has never seen before. To understand the weight of this decision, you have to grasp the sheer scale of Starship. It's not just another rocket. It's a towering giant of steel that redefines what engineering can achieve. At nearly 400 feet tall, it even surpasses the legendary Saturn V that carried astronauts to the moon in the 1960s. Its stainless steel frame glistens in the sunlight, looking more like a futuristic skyscraper than a spacecraft. And at its base lies the real beast, 33 Raptor engines, each one powerful enough to lift entire buildings off the ground. Together, they generate more than 16 million pounds of thrust. That's like trying to tame the force of dozens of atomic bombs igniting all at once. But Starship isn't just about raw power. It was designed to be fully reusable. Unlike traditional rockets that burn up billions and end up as scrap after a single flight, Starship is built to launch, land, and fly again. In theory, this slashes the cost of reaching space from billions to just a few million per trip. A leap that could make space travel as routine as long-haul aviation. If it works, it could be the key to colonizing Mars, building cities on the moon, and hauling unimaginable amounts of cargo into orbit. If it fails, it may go down as the most expensive technological gamble of our time. And that's where awe collides with fear. Because the bigger the rocket, the bigger the consequences when something goes wrong. Elon Musk has one obsession: speed. In his view, every year lost is another year closer to humanity's extinction. Asteroids, nuclear war, climate collapse. Any one of these threats could wipe us out in the blink of an eye. And the only way forward, he argues, is to plant our flag on other worlds before it's too late. But that urgency comes with a cost. Starship's test history already proves it. In 2023, a prototype barely cleared the launch pad before erupting into a fireball. Metal fragments rained down for miles, rattling nearby communities and scarring the Texas coast. In 2024, it happened again. Another test ended in a colossal mid-air explosion, lighting up the night sky like a man-made thunderbolt. Each failure was framed by SpaceX as a learning experience. But critics saw something else: recklessness disguised as progress. Because the truth is unavoidable. This is a 400-foot rocket, packed with millions of pounds of explosive fuel. A catastrophic failure in mid-flight isn't just a setback. It's a potential disaster. Still, Musk keeps pushing the pace. Every mishap is just another step, in his mind, toward Mars. But how far can this breakneck speed be pushed before the line between vision and danger disappears? And who pays the price if one of those learning experiences turns into something far worse? Starship's battle hasn't just played out in the skies. It's also been fought in courtrooms. On one side, environmental groups and local residents. On the other, SpaceX and the US government. And in the middle, a federal judge forced to weigh the dream of space exploration against the responsibility of protecting Earth. Environmental lawyers brought evidence. Reports detailing how test explosions scattered debris for miles. Photos of endangered sea turtles crawling through wreckage. Studies showing rare birds altering their flight patterns. To them, every Starship launch was a silent assault on Boca Chica's fragile ecosystem. Opposing them stood SpaceX attorneys and NASA officials. Their argument was blunt. Starship isn't just a rocket, it's a national asset. Without it, NASA can't return astronauts to the moon. Without it, the US risks falling behind China and Russia in the new space race. And delaying Musk, they warned, could mean delaying humanity's future. The judge reviewed the evidence, weighed the risks, and chose a side. SpaceX won. The ruling gave the company the green light for up to 25 launches a year. A victory for Musk, for NASA, and for America's vision of space leadership. But it was also a loss for environmental advocates. And a sobering reminder. When humanity's ambition to conquer new worlds collides with the voice of nature, progress usually drowns out the sound of caution. With the court's decision secured, SpaceX wasted no time. The roadmap is already in motion. Orbital tests are set to take place soon, followed by flights that grow bolder with every launch. If Musk has his way, Boca Chica will no longer be just a testing ground. It will become a full-scale rocket factory aimed at the stars. 25 flights a year. That's nearly 2 launches a month of the most powerful rocket ever built. At that pace, Starship would stop being a distant dream and start becoming part of everyday life. But with that frequency comes undeniable risk. More launches mean more opportunities for failure. More noise, more pollution, more tension with local communities. And with every unexpected explosion, the debate over safety and the environment roars back louder than before. For SpaceX, each launch is a step closer to the future. For critics, it's a high-stakes game of Russian roulette played in full view of the world. And the question hanging in the air is this. What will come first, Starship's historic landing on Mars, or the next disaster that reminds us how fragile progress really is? Elon Musk has never hidden his ultimate ambition. To him, Starship isn't just a rocket. It's the ark that could secure humanity's survival. The final destination isn't Earth's orbit, or even the moon. It's Mars. Musk believes humanity must become multi-planetary before disaster strikes. He warns that a global catastrophe, an asteroid, nuclear war, even climate collapse, could wipe us out in an instant. And in that doomsday scenario, building a colony on Mars would be our only insurance policy. Starship was built with that mission in mind, capable of carrying up to 100 passengers in a single trip, designed to haul tons of supplies, equipment, and technology, built to land on Mars, refuel using resources made on the planet itself, and return to Earth. Musk envisions a fleet of thousands of these ships, ferrying people back and forth until Mars becomes humanity's second home. It's a vision that feels almost messianic, but it's also one of the most divisive. Many experts argue Musk is dodging the real issue. Shouldn't we learn to take better care of Earth before chasing dreams of building a new one? Is reaching for a second planet just an excuse to keep mistreating the first? Musk's dream splits opinion down the middle. To some, he's the visionary who might save us from extinction. To others, he's a billionaire chasing obsession, willing to gamble the present for an uncertain future. And with every new launch now cleared for takeoff, the question only grows sharper. Are we truly reaching for the stars, or just running away from ourselves? The ruling that cleared Starship doesn't just echo in Texas. It reverberates across the entire globe. Because Starship isn't just a rocket, it's a statement of power. Every launch is more than a technical achievement. It's a geopolitical move. While SpaceX celebrates, China is watching closely. Beijing is pouring billions into heavy-lift rockets of its own, aiming to build lunar bases and dominate space infrastructure. Russia, though its fleet is aging, still clings to its legacy as a pioneer. And Europe, with its Ariane program, is scrambling to stay competitive in a race that's only accelerating. The green light for Starship acts like a spark. A clear message: the United States has no intention of surrendering leadership in space. But this time, the race isn't about planting flags. It's about securing resources, orbital real estate, and even military advantage. Space has never been more strategic. Satellites now control communications, surveillance, navigation, and defense. Whoever controls access to space controls information, economics, and national security. And each Starship launch, thundering with unmatched power, is a reminder of who's setting the pace. But there's a dangerous side to this contest. When rockets become symbols of strength, the line between exploration and confrontation blurs. And what should be humanity's greatest scientific adventure risks becoming the stage for a new Cold War, only this time fought beyond Earth's atmosphere. A judge lifted his pen, and with a single signature, he altered the course of space exploration. Starship has been cleared, its engines are primed, and the world is watching, torn between hope and dread. On one side, the dream, the vision of cities on Mars, of humanity expanding beyond Earth. The belief that this could be our first step toward survival as a species. On the other side, the shadow, explosions, environmental risks, political pressure, unchecked ambition. The fear that a race for glory could turn an interplanetary dream into a disaster at home. We stand at a turning point. The future could carry us to the stars, or consume us in fire and wreckage. The judge has spoken. The countdown has already begun. And now, I ask you, will Starship be remembered as the ship that saved humanity, or the rocket that should never have launched? Share your thoughts below, and brace yourself, because the next explosion might just be the sound of the future arriving.